And some interesting news came to light once again this morning that I want to talk about real quick. General Mills. You know General Mills? Everybody knows General Mills. If you don't know General Mills, you've never eaten cereal in your life. Cereal is a staple at our house. It is not a consumer discretionary item for me. It is a consumer staple. I eat cereal for dinner, for lunch sometimes, and even for breakfast sometimes. It is a very expensive consumer staple in our house, unfortunately. But nevertheless, you know General Mills. General Mills made an announcement this morning that reminded me of something, and I had to search a little bit, that I said back in October of last year. Now, I didn't go back any further. I might have said it before that as well. But General Mills changes their profit projections for the third quarter of last year. Yeah, they haven't even got to fourth yet. Third quarter. It went up, and their profit rose $410 million. That's some good news, or 64 cents a share. Good news for General Mills, right? But General Mills, because this is a trend that seems to be fading away, along with their profit projections, has been willing or is willing to talk about as well for that same period of time, their net sales. Their net sales fell 1.2% to $4.38 billion. Fell 1.2%. A 1.2% back in the olden days would have, and olden days, I go back like 7 years, go back to the olden days where a 1.3% drop in sales would have been significant. Back in October, I talked about all the companies that are reporting higher earnings, and all we are doing is using those higher earnings as an excuse for this irrational exuberance. I hate to keep saying that term that Alan Greenspan coined, but there's no better description of what is going on in the markets and in the economy and the financial sectors and the global economies too, to a certain extent. Listen, it is confirmation that there's a lot going on in their profits going up. It's a manipulation. I don't mean in a corrupt way. I don't mean manipulation as in Enron creative accounting manipulation. That's not what I'm talking about. I mean manipulation in the way they are using cheap money, stock buybacks, and others to add to their bottom line and their profit line. There's nothing illegal or anything necessarily wrong with that. But here's what's wrong with that in general, and this is one company. FedEx announced today profits being up, but they didn't say anything about their carrying numbers or sales numbers, whatever they call it. Wasn't in the data. Wonder why. This has been a trend all year last year, and nobody's talking about it. I talked about it in October and a couple other times after that. But look, it is important that we understand when we hear corporate profits going up, it shouldn't be driving the markets if we don't have sales numbers going up. Because if we don't have sales numbers going up, we don't have necessarily more profit, more product being produced, which leads to a growing economy and jobs. But anyway, apparently there are those out there that believe that this is going to be good for the economy, that believe that this is the reason to be into the market. Well, let me just say something. That too is a house of cards. At some point in time, when this manipulation, I hate using that word, but you know, this accounting practices that are going on. It's not manipulation. Again, it's nothing illegal going on, or nothing even corrupt or unethical from that from in any way you look at this. But the fact of the matter is at some point in time, the things that are driving bottom line will begin to stop because it has to. When that begins to stop, when the deleveraging starts to pick up again and the leveraging starts to stop because it's bad for business, there won't be the sales to support the underlying profit needed to sustain the company. I'm not saying there's going to be any companies going bankrupt, but it's going to have a dramatic impact on the economy because it could lead to further layoffs and cutbacks. Maybe it could lead to further automation and streamlining. Either way, it's not good for jobs. It's not good for America. But we continue to miss that.